Did you ever notice that in America, the number 13 is missing everywhere? Most hotels jump from the 12th floor straight to the 14th. Airlines remove row 13. Hospitals erase room 13 from their maps. They say it's just superstition. But what if it's not? In 1923, 13 people staying on a forbidden 13th floor vanished in a single night. Their room doors were locked from the inside. No blood, no bodies, no trace. Just one chilling message carved into the wall. 13 belongs to the dark. Ever since, whenever a 13th floor is built, someone disappears. That's why architects stopped numbering it. They think skipping the number will hide us from the curse. But tonight, one journalist will discover the truth. 13 isn't a number, it's a hunger. Welcome to the cursed number 13. I was halfway through my night shift at the New York Chronicle newsroom when the elevator lights flickered, every button glowing except one. Number 13. It wasn't burned out. It wasn't removed. It was scratched, as if someone had clawed at it from the inside. I wasn't even working on anything related to superstition, but something about that dim, damaged button made my stomach twist. I pressed the call button again. The elevator remained stuck on the 13th floor, even though our building officially didn't have one. The manager always claimed, "We jump from 12 to 14 to keep tenants comfortable." But now the panel was telling me that was a lie. Before I could process it, my editor, Mark Stevens, tossed a file onto my desk. "New assignment," he said, rubbing his eyes. "A trend on social media. People reporting strange accidents linked to the number 13. Make it spooky. Americans eat that stuff up." The file wasn't thick, just a handful of printed screenshots and a note. "Go investigate 13 West Wallace Street, multiple incidents." I swear I felt something cold bloom behind my spine the moment I read the address. The building at 13 West Wallace didn't match the photos online. Google Images showed a bright beige apartment complex. But in real life, it looked abandoned, windows boarded, door half broken, the number plate hanging upside down like a warning. I stepped inside, my camera recording everything. Dust floated like ash. The hallway smelled of wet concrete and old iron. And then I noticed something worse. Every apartment door number was normal except one. 13C. Its paint was still fresh. Too fresh. When I put my ear against it, something moved inside. Slow, dragging footsteps. A faint wheeze, like something breathing through water. I knocked. The sound stopped instantly. Then a whisper slid under the door like smoke. "You shouldn't count what isn't meant to exist." My skin crawled. I stepped back. The hallway lights shut off. When they flickered on again, the door of 13C was wide open. Inside the apartment were newspaper clippings pinned across every wall. Stories of elevator crashes, hotel fires, and freak deaths. All on the 13th of a month, or at the 13th minute, or involving the number 13 somewhere hidden. But the worst part, every clipping had a name circled. Names of journalists, investigative reporters, like me. And one clipping in the center was newer than the rest, still warm to the touch. Local journalist assigned to expose curse of 13. There was no article underneath, just my name. And a date, tonight, 12:13 a.m. I checked my watch, 12:07 a.m. My phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "You found it. Now it finds you." The apartment door slammed shut behind me. Footsteps creaked from the hallway, slow and heavy. The clippings began to peel off the wall one by one, spiraling in the air like dead leaves. Some invisible pressure pushed me toward the only window 13 stories above the street. That was impossible. My newsroom was on the 11th floor. This building was supposed to have 12. The air thickened. The temperature dropped. The whisper returned, circling my ears. 13 was never removed. Humans just chose not to look. I backed against the wall, trembling. My camera pointed at the doorway, and something stepped into view. Not a person. A shape, tall and crooked, its limbs bending like broken rulers, its body covered in carved numbers. All 13ths, over and over, burned into its skin. Its face dripped inky black tears that sizzled on the floor. When it opened its mouth, the breath inside smelled like burnt paper. "Stories must continue," it rasped. 13 must be remembered. It lifted a hand, each finger longer than the last, pointing at me like accusing shadows. My watch beeped. 12:13 a.m. The room snapped into darkness. I woke up in the newsroom hours later, sprawled across my desk, heart pounding. Mark was standing over me. "You all right? You look pale." I stammered out everything, 13 West Wallace, the apartment, the creature, but he just stared at me blankly. "There is number 13 West Wallace," he said slowly. "That lot's been empty for decades, burned down in the 70s. I insisted I'd been inside. I showed him the footage. cut off the moment I stepped through the front door. Nothing after that recorded. When I tried to find the file Mark gave me, the assignment, it wasn't on my desk. But when I opened my notebook, a new address was written in my handwriting, even though I had no memory of writing it. 13 Gravesend Avenue. And below it, a simple message. Next story. My phone buzzed again. Another unknown number, a single text. You counted what shouldn't be counted. I didn't open the message. I didn't need to, because when I turned around, the newsroom elevator opened on its own. And this time the button wasn't scratched. It was glowing bright red. 13. Waiting for me. If you want part 2, the investigation at 13 Gravesend Avenue, just say, continue the story. Subscribe for more chilling tales.